Hi guys, welcome back. Today's class is great for those of you that are just getting back into exercise after having a baby. So whether that was a few months ago or a few years ago, this is the class you need. So we are going to use a couple of props if you have them. If you don't have them at home, don't worry at all. You can do the exact same exercise without them. But if you do, grab a resistance band, grab a yoga block, or you could use like a cushion or something, and get your mat, and we'll get into it. So we're going to start on our hands and knees. So just taking your knees as wide as your hips, you're going to stretch your arms out, and then you're going to sit. You're going to sit back slightly, but I want you to keep your hips high. We're just going to stretch the arms, and you're going to bring your forehead down to the ground. So if you've done any yoga, it's similar to child's pose, but child's pose you would be putting the hips back down towards the heels. I want you to keep your hips up high, your bum's in the air, and then you're just going to bring your head down to the ground. Now, I don't want you to flare out through the abdomen here. I want you to hug in, so it's becoming a little bit of core activation while you're here. And then just inching your fingertips a little bit further forward, so we're creating a little bit more length in the spine. And taking a couple of long, deep breaths here. And then just making your way up. Just come to sit on your heels for a moment. And I'm going to get you to get your resistance band. If you don't have one, then just grab a towel, or we'll just do the exercise without it, as I said in the intro. Okay, so you're going to bring your arms up above your head, and then you're going to bend your elbows and take your arms back behind you. Now, what I want you to focus on here is that you squeeze your shoulder blades together as you do that, and that you're not flaring out through the ribs here, but we're staying hugged in here. And then you're just going to lift your arms up, and we're going to drop them down again, and we're going to do 10 of those. So it's really great to work on your upper body and your posture after having a baby, because those things are quite impacted by the changes that your spine goes through, the changes in the movements that you're making when you're taking care of your baby and through pregnancy. 1, do 4 more, 2, 3, 4. And release. So just put that to the side. We're going to do one more nice little exercise for your arms. We're going to do eagle arms. So just bring your right arm underneath your left. We're going to cross our arms over. If you can't clasp your hands together, don't worry at all. Your arms can just be separated like that. And then what I want you to do is to draw your elbows away from you slightly, so away from your chest slightly, and then just lifting your elbows up. Now, as you do that, you're also going to squeeze your shoulder blades in towards each other, and then engage through your core. So we're hugging in through the belly button, but then wrapping the muscles into the midline as well. And you should feel a nice stretch through your upper back. You can close your eyes for a minute and just let your face relax. All right, let's shake out the arms a little bit. And then we're going to switch on over and do the other side. So you're going to bring your left arm under your right now. We're going to take those little tweaks, so elbows away from your chest and up slightly, and then your shoulder blades in towards each other, and then we focus on that core engagement. You can close your eyes if that feels nice for you. And then we're going to release the arms, just shake it out a little bit. And then we're going to come down onto our back, so just making your way onto your side and then rolling over onto your back. And that's how you want to be lying down to really support and protect your abdominal muscles after you've had a baby. Anyway, let's go ahead and do our pelvic tilts. So what you're going to do here is you'll notice that there's a little bit of space between the mat and your back. I'm going to call that a neutral spine. We start that way. We take a breath in. Now as you exhale, it happens pretty quickly, but there's a lot going on. You're going to lift your pelvis up So you do a pelvic tilt, and as you do that, your back should be flat on the back now, like there should be no space between the mat and your back. Then you're going to draw your abdominal muscles into your midline. So if you press your abs, they should feel more contracted. And then we're going to hold it here with that contraction for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Then you release it all, and you've got that neutral spine again with the space. And then we go again. You take your pelvic tilt, your brace, your contraction. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Let it go, release. Brace, contraction. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Release. Brace, contraction. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Release. Now we're going to do 10 really fast ones like this. 1, release. 2, release. 3, release. 4, release. 5, release. 6, release. 7, 8, 9, 10, and release. Well done, you guys. All right. Now we're going to take some bridges. So if you've got that brick or a cushion or pillow or something like that, go ahead and just place it between your legs. Now from here, you're going to take that pelvic tilt, just like we were doing, but you're going to now press your feet into the mat, squeeze your legs into the brick or the pillow, or if you're not using it, you're doing the same exercise, but you're obviously not squeezing anything. It's still very effective, so don't worry if you don't have the props. Now we're going to roll up through the spine, so your spine is peeling up off your mat. You can shuffle your shoulders underneath you a little bit more and lift a little bit higher. We're going to squeeze in for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, and with control, roll back down. Take a moment in a neutral spine, and we're going to come up again. So flattening the back, we're rolling our spine up off the mat with control, with awareness, with activation, squeezing in now for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Down we come rolling. All right, we can put that prop to the side, and then I'm going to get you to roll onto your side. You're going to take your right arm behind your head like this. Your bottom leg is going to stay bent, and you're going to just stretch out that top leg. You can bring your hand onto your hip. We're going to flex the foot, so you're pushing through the heel. Engage through your abdominal muscles, and we're just going to lift our leg and drop it down. Lift our leg and drop it down. Now, if your lifts need to be quite a little bit smaller, perfect. You just lift your leg a little bit. You do what works for you. We're going to go ahead and do 10. Seven, 8, 9, and 10. Beautiful. Make your way over to the other side, and we'll do the other leg. So bring your hand behind your head. And we're going to stretch out the top leg again. Engage through your abdominal muscles and push through the heel and lifting your leg with control. We'll do 10 again on this side. 3, 4, keeping your leg long and energized. 7, 8, 9, 10. Beautiful. All right, come back over onto your right side, and we're going to take clam legs. So what you're going to do here is you're just going to open your legs, close them. Open, close, staying engaged and activated through your abdominal muscles. And we're slightly lifting up away from the ground as well, rather than just kind of taking the load off. 5 more. 4, 3, 2, 1, and release. Okay, switch on over to the other side. And we're going to take those clam legs again. Let's go. So feeling how that's really working through your inner thighs. If you're very new to exercising after having a baby, then you'll really be feeling that. So just be mindful. You might want to open your legs just not quite so wide. 5 more. 2, 3, 4, 5. All right, I'm going to get you to come up and we're going to sit back on our heels. So bring your big toes to touch and then sit back on your heels. What we're going to do here is we're going to hug into the center line like I've been talking about all through the class, and we're going to lift up with control. Extending your arms forwards and then sitting back down. So it seems super simple, but what you're doing is you're moving with that activation and that real engagement through your abdominal muscles and your pelvic floor as well. So let's go ahead and do that again. Lifting up, pelvic floor draws up, core engaged, sit back down. Pelvic floor draws up, core engaged, sit back down. We can go ahead and do 8 more. Six, 7, 8, and release. Beautiful work. Okay, we're going to come into a downward facing dog now. So spreading your fingers wide on your mat, you're going to tuck your toes under and we're going to lift up here. Now step your feet a little closer together and we're going to bend one knee a lot and you're going to press your other foot towards the ground. Doesn't matter if the heel doesn't reach. And then we're going to switch over. And we're just going to do that a few times so that you get some nice length and stretching down the backs of your legs. Remembering to breathe here. And then just step your feet a little wider apart now. I want you to press your hands into the ground and push your hips towards the back of your room. And you should feel your arms get a little bit longer as you do that. If your legs still feel really tight here, bend your knees, that's okay. What I want you to focus on is that your pelvis is rotated forward, so your hips are up, your tailbone's pointing to the ceiling, and that your spine is long. Now take a breath in here for me, and we're going to, with engagement, so I want you to engage your core. You're going to come forwards, hover your knees, lift back up. Take a breath in, come forwards, hover your knees, engage, up, you got it. And do 2 more. Breath in, engage, hover forwards, back up. 1 more. Breath in, hover forwards, back up. And then we're going to come all the way down and we're going to finish our class today with a butterfly stretch. So bring the soles of your feet together, your knees are going to drop out to the sides. Now just wiggle a little bit. What you're looking for is to be up on your sit bones so that your pelvis can rotate forwards and you get a nice stretch in your lower back, a nice stretch in your hips. We're just going to inch our way forwards a little bit. Doesn't matter how far you come down, you're just looking for that stretch in your hips. Let your head drop down, relax your face, soften your breath. And then slowly make your way up. I hope you enjoyed today's class, guys. If you haven't already, please subscribe to my channel and leave me a comment. Go and have a beautiful day, and I will see you for our next video. Bye, guys.